Now at 5, authorities arrest a travel agent in Miami after a fraud investigation. Plus, an update on river levels and water dangers in southwest Missouri. And
a jury is now deliberating the fate of former President Trump in his criminal trial. I'm Michael George in Manhattan, and I'll break down what may happen when a verdict is reached.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities arrest a travel agent in Miami, Oklahoma after a fraud investigation. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Diane Wyford has recently been scrutinized for alleged fraudulent activity. She's now behind bars, but for bad checks written in Taney County, Missouri, back in 2016. Wyford, who also goes by the last name Cott, was booked into the Ottawa County Jail yesterday after a traffic stop. She's being held without bond at the moment. Wyford allegedly wrote more than $10,000 in checks that the prosecutor filed charges on nearly 8 years ago. Well, now, in a Miami police investigation, authorities believe Wyford's company, Wyford Tour and Travel, has taken payment from clients totaling tens of thousands of dollars. Authorities say the bookings aren't there when people show up because they never existed in the first place. Alexa Gilman of Webb City says she's out about $5,500 on a trip that she's planning to take this summer. Apparently we don't have that comment from her. More on this tonight at 6. Water levels at the Elk River have subsided since this past weekend, allowing floating businesses to put people back on the Elk River. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says the water levels experienced recently were considered minor flooding. Levels are no longer considered to be at the flood stage at all. However, water levels are still 2 feet higher than what they were before the Memorial Day weekend storms, and businesses are emphasizing safety on the water.
Just come in, talk to us. We'll kind of give you the lay of the land. And definitely just tell them, once again, wear their life jackets and just kind of pay attention to your surroundings, and most of all, have a good time. You know, we want everyone to be safe, but we want them to also enjoy the beauty and the float. That's what it's all about.
Two Suns Floating provides all of the patrons with life vests, and they encourage everyone who goes out while the levels are high to just be cautious. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty now for a first look at the weather.
Well, it actually turned out to be a pretty nice Wednesday for us today. We've had partly sunny skies, warm. Most of us have warmed into lower 80s, 81 in Stockton. We have 80 in Neosho, Anderson 81, Miami 82, 81 in Pittsburgh. Parsons is sitting at 84 degrees. We are getting a few scattered thunderstorms. You can see a few popping up, mainly in our southern counties, and we are going to have some hit and miss storms as we go through the next few hours, especially in our southern counties. You can see one right on top of Grand Lake, and then a couple once you get over into Benton County, also McDonald County. Not a big deal. These will fizzle apart once we lose the heating of the day. But here's our next wave, which is going to give us much more widespread rain as we go through the next couple days. Through the evening, hit and miss storms, 70s, 60s. Of course, we'll look at those rain chances for you here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. Jury deliberations have wrapped up for the day in former President Donald Trump's historic criminal trial in New York. Michael George reports from outside the courthouse where Trump could become the first former president ever convicted of a crime.
Former President Donald Trump headed back into court Tuesday to hear closing arguments from prosecutors. He's charged with falsifying business records to interfere with the 2016 election.
They are going to want to take a really broad look at all of the evidence, take a walk down memory lane over the past 5 weeks of testimony.
Before lunch, the jury heard 3 hours of closing arguments from defense lawyer Todd Blanche attacking the prosecution's key witness, Michael Cohen. Cohen testified he was acting on Trump's behalf when he paid hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels prior to the 2016 election.
They're hearing a constant refrain from Todd Blanche, the former president's attorney, which is Cohen the liar, Cohen the liar, Cohen the liar.
Blanche concluded by asking jurors to not send his client to prison. After the jury left, Judge Juan Merchan reprimanded Blanche, calling the comment outrageous. Outside the courthouse today, there's been a steady buzz of energy as multiple people stepped up to the microphones. firing up demonstrators. Two of Trump's sons spoke during lunch, calling the trial a political persecution.
It is an insanity. It is an embarrassment. It's an abomination to democracy and to our republic.
Earlier, the Biden campaign held a news conference.
We're here primarily because of the threat that Donald Trump poses to the United States of America and to our democracy.
Biden's campaign was joined by actor Robert De Niro and two former Capitol police officers who criticized Trump for his role in the January 6th Capitol riot. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Even if Trump is convicted, it does not necessarily mean he's going to serve prison time. The judge has other sentencing options, including probation. Still ahead, choosing the right name.
The top baby names are out for 2023, but more parents than ever are looking for the uncommon choice. I'm Bradley Blackburn with how some are turning to baby name consultants.
But first, promising new therapy for people with spinal injuries. That's next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, patients who stay within the same clinical group or see the same physician tend to have better health outcomes compared to those who don't. That's according to researchers who analyzed hospital data out of Alberta, Canada from 2015 to 2018. They found clinical continuity resulted in fewer emergency room visits and hospitalizations, especially for patients with complex cases. An experimental electrical therapy is giving some function back to people left paralyzed after a spinal cord injury. As Skylar Henry shows us, this treatment uses a device that does not need to be surgically implanted.
Sharon Campbell was paralyzed from the shoulders down in 2014 after wrestling with a friend.
You can't feed yourself, you can't make it to the bathroom, you can't dress yourself, so it's very severe injury. Life-changing is not putting it lightly whatsoever.
He's a quadriplegic and was among 60 people to take part in a clinical trial led by the University of Washington, testing a non-invasive electrical device. Unlike other devices, this one is placed outside the body rather than implanted and sends a strong electrical current to the spinal cord.
We've seen remarkable recovery when the stimulation is applied to the back of the neck after spinal cord injury. We've seen some individuals that could barely move their hands or grasp or lift an object immediately be able to grasp first light objects, then heavier objects.
Patients had weeks of intensive rehabilitation to prepare for the electrical stimulation treatment, which takes place over 12 weeks. Scientists say the device only works for patients who have maintained some neural activity.
They develop this strength and dexterity over a period of months as they practice with the stimulator, and then this appears to persist for many months afterwards.
Campbell says he's experiencing increased movement.
Changes with my dexterity, changes in grip strength. One of my big goals was just being able to reach across my body and help wash. So they sound like simple things, but they're very functional and very important. My daughter's birthday, tying a bunch of balloons and stuff, being able to do that, being able to give her the birthday party she wanted.
He's grateful for any improvement in his quality of life. Skylar Henry, CBS News.
Sharon was one of the patients in the study who was able to take the device home for a period of time. Marijuana laws in the U.S. appear to be having an impact on college decision making. This is interesting. New research published in the journal Economic Inquiry shows states with legalized recreational marijuana use have seen up to a 9% increase in freshman enrollments compared to states without such legalization. The study also found the reclassification did not affect degree completion or graduation rates. That is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about what you should do if you think your cat has mange.
Plus, we got more rain in the forecast. We're going to be looking at that coming up next. Well, it definitely turned out to be a warm, humid day for us today. Temperatures all the way up into lower 80s. We've had kind of puffy cumulus clouds throughout the day and a few isolated thunderstorms. Most of us have stayed dry. Most of us will stay dry, but we are going to have some isolated little guys out there through the evening hours. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. We're going to slide back through the 70s, 60s, most of us near 60 later on tonight, but it's warm right now. It's 81 in Independence, Iola 82, 82 in Grove, Carthage 82, 79 in Cassville. Let's go outside. Here's 7th. Here's Rangeline sitting at 82. Southerly winds at about 5 to 10. All right, most of us dry, but you can see some isolated thunderstorms in our southern counties. So isolated is hit and miss, scattered is a little more hit and miss. These are isolated across the region, and they're going to be out there for the next couple hours. And then once we lose the heating of the day, these will dissipate. But you can see down across our southern counties. In fact, let's zoom in. So here's Grove, so on top of Grand Lake, just north of Jay. And then we have another little guy in McDonald County, and then over into Benton County as well. We keep getting these weak little waves heading toward us. We have another one tomorrow building out across central parts of the Rockies, and that's going to up our rain chances late in the day. Stay low tonight, but after 4 p.m., you can see they kind of start shooting up late tomorrow night, and then into Friday. These are going to be scattered, but we are going to have them out there across the region. Let me walk you through time. Anything that pops up over the next couple hours, gone by sunset. Through the night, pretty quiet. We drop back lower 60s. As we go through the morning hours, looks good, upper 70s. Here's noon, but you can see the rain increasing out to the west. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially in our southern counties. Here's 4:30 p.m. So again, most of us are going to be dry tomorrow, but rain increases through the evening, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms across the region, picking up through the night tomorrow night. Here's 4 a.m. on Friday, and then really just periods of showers and thunderstorms on Friday. Non-severe, we may get a few stronger ones, but non-severe. You can see them rotating on top of us Friday afternoon into Friday evening. So Friday's going to be pretty wet, and then finally rotating out of here by the time we head into Saturday morning. So how much rain can we get? We got to see where those heavier bands set up, but a lot of areas are going to pick up a quarter, half an inch, and then some isolated areas will pick up 1 or 2 inches of rain. So very springtime, of course. We need it. All right, for you on Thursday, sunny start, cloudy finish, scattered showers developing late. If we look down the road, scattered thunderstorms through Friday evening. Let's go into the weekend, scattered stronger storms on Sunday and Monday with a low severe threat. Hit and miss storms next week, but warmer. And then another severe threat, a couple systems from June 9th through June 12th. And then that will officially end traditional severe weather season, which I'm quite happy about. 81 tomorrow, 72 on Friday, cooler with those showers. Saturday looks good, and then hit and miss storms working back in on Sunday.
All right, I'm glad to know that we don't have an immediate severe weather threat anyway.
That's true.
We are going to get
That's
some more
good.
rain.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug. Just ahead, parents seeking professional help choosing a baby name. Topping today's Consumer Watch, U.S. consumer confidence continues to rise. That's according to the latest survey from the nonprofit business research group, the Conference Board. In May, consumer confidence hit 102, up from 97.5 in April, and a third straight month of increases. But the survey also showed there are continued worries about inflation, with more respondents saying they believe a recession is somewhat or very likely in the next year. Multiple powdered baby formulas are being voluntarily recalled. The FDA says Cresolac Infant 0 to 12, Pharmalac 0 to 12, and Pharmalac Low Lactose does not meet the agency's regulatory standards. No illnesses have been reported. Customers can return the recalled formula back to the place of purchase for a full refund. The list of the nation's top baby names was released by the Social Security Administration recently, with Liam and Olivia taking the highest rankings in 2023. Parents today, they feel plenty of pressure when it comes to choosing a name. A lot of parents do, certainly. Bradley Blackburn explains why more are turning to professional name consultants for help.
Peyton and Lindsay Gregory from Houston will soon welcome their second child, a baby girl, and they want her name to be just right.
Naming your kid is the biggest amount of pressure you can feel.
They were struggling to make a choice, so they hired baby name consultant Jen Ficara after seeing her videos on TikTok.
Old lady names are growing, and I'm obsessed with it.
She doles out advice and helps clients come up with a short list.
I think having someone who can really help narrow it for you and help guide you is appealing to a lot of people, in the same way that people hire a matchmaker.
For generations, American parents have dipped into the same well of family names over and over again. Dr. Cleveland Evans has studied the psychology of names and says today most parents try to make a unique choice.
And because of that, the percentage of babies that get the popular names is way down from it was 30 or 40 years ago. Ironically, the people who do give their kids the names that are in the top 10 are unusual.
Vaquera says running ideas by friends or family can come with sharp judgment.
There's so much choice out there, and there's so many different opinions.
It's one reason some pay a consultant fees ranging from $50 to a few $100. For the Gregorys, money well spent for a name to last a lifetime.
We actually ended up sending Jen a list of, we wanted like a sports related name. We're very big into sports.
Have you picked the name?
We have. Her name will be Lainey.
What's in a name? It's an answer that takes a lot of thought. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
So yeah, baby name consultant is an actual thing. The fastest growing baby name last year was Kaylee, spelled Kaeli. It jumped up the list by almost 1,700 spots. Our pet vet on call next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, an examination of one for-profit nursing home chain where some patients were allegedly neglected. Then on KOAM News at 6, more on the investigation of an alleged fraud and the arrest of a travel agent in Miami, Oklahoma, plus an update on storm recovery efforts in northwestern Arkansas. And the CNC League releases its all-conference baseball and softball teams. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Some pet skin issues can be treated fairly easily, but certainly not all of them. Today's question for our pet vet on call: is there a home remedy for mange on cats? If so, what is it?
Nothing safe. Several things to know here. You're dealing with skin issues. Skin is your largest organ. You can't live without your skin. This is probably something very serious. Second, cats are very, very sensitive to anything you put on them. You can seriously harm them, if not kill them. So I wouldn't be using anything that you have at home. Third, there are different types of mange that need different kinds of treatments. So you really need to have a definitive diagnosis of what kind of parasite you're dealing with. And then lastly, there are other diseases that look like mange that may be even more serious than mange. You have to know what you're dealing with. So before you do anything, please see your veterinarian.
Hey, thanks for the question. We invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, all you have to do is send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Might as well do it while you're thinking about it. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital offers a different question or brings us a fun fact every single Wednesday right here, KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. A couple of cats this week, since we did have a cat question. From the Joplin Humane Society, we have Ms. Kitty, a young female domestic short hair. If you are an old-time Gunsmoke fan, you might get the reference on that name. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we've chosen Jasper, a little male domestic short hair. He's about 6 years old. He can be shy around other animals, but affectionate with his humor. Again, Jasper, beautiful cat to see. Looks like a Black Panther. If you're looking for a pet, why not at least check out your local Humane Society, whether it's a cat or a dog, or maybe once in a while, other.
Yeah, they want homes too.
Yes,
So,
of course they do. Yeah. You're not going to be adopting any snakes, I'm sure, anytime soon. The weather is looking promising for a little bit anyway.
Yeah, we're going to have rain kind of picking up again late tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night, and then kind of periods all day long on Friday. Some of these could be a little bit stronger, not anticipating anything severe, but of course, we're going to keep our eyes on it.
We will indeed. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 6. Let's make it a great week.